Hi everyone, this is Dave and we're going to continue this series here for the website panel. We're going to go ahead and go into global settings. It's after pages. So the main things, like I said, are in the blue bar, except of course global variables is also important. So far we've covered that this is the dashboard here. Okay. Then we covered pages and global variables. Let's go ahead and talk about global settings. Now if you go here, there are a few sections to it. Okay. And so we would just start at the top. What is this first section? You can ignore this. We don't usually ever use it because it's been pretty much replaced with this functionality here. Okay. So here's general settings. It's the stuff that's really, really general. Okay. For instance, if you forgot your password, where should it send the forgot password link to your admin email? And we're using C email, like control email, to be different than email, for regular forms. But if you wondered what that was and how to use it, you can just choose from here. Okay, it's the admin email. Got it. All right, the website title, well, that's your website. It's something.com or something.net or something.org. Okay. If you do have a favicon icon, that's what would show up here, this little guy right here, then you can bring it up. Just browse to it, and that's where we keep all our images. We've got folders for the images, okay? And in those folders, we have some subfolders for different purposes, like resizing automatically for modular phone or mobile phones. So when you use big images, the system automatically creates the smaller ones for mobile phones, and it does that totally on its own for you. So that just allows pages to load faster on mobile phones, which makes you really competitive. Okay, you can also do things like right click and hit a new subfolder if you had a reason. Give it a name and save it. Okay, Bob. Particular images, and that way you have a subfolder and you can put images in here. You could copy them or drag them. I could control click a few images if I want, drag them to Bob, and then say copy or move. Well, I might just copy. Okay. Hey, it's done. Okay. Click off, go to the Bob folder. There they are, the copies. Now, if I want, I could even download the whole Bob folder as a zip file just to have it or to send it to Bob to have all of his stuff. Now, in this case, I really don't need to, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete. But there you go. So you understand more directly the functions, the functionality, and abilities that you have in here. Okay. So you can also drag and drop into any of this. So any of this gray area here, just grab any images from your desktop and drag them and let them go, and they'll appear in here. If you thought, I wonder what the size of the image is, right click any one of them and hit resize like you're going to resize it. And that happens to give you the current size right here. Okay, now you can create thumbnails for it. You can make a new size. Maybe you'll say 650 by something, and it'll say, do you want to create a new image or not? Okay, now if you're creating a new image, then it's going to make that name commercial, but it's going to put underscore, 650 by 333.jpg. By the way, what if you need this to not be 333? See, it did the math and said 333. What if you have to make this taller or smaller? Unlock, and that separates width from height. So now you can change this to 45 if you need, okay, and hit OK. And that works. And if you really need to, just refresh to get back to the normal size that you started with, just to figure out where you are. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close that out. So now you understand a lot more about images. Okay. So having said that, there you go. Anytime you see a browse button, that's for the images. Okay. Now, if you do have meta tags or something that goes in the header, you can put it in here and it'll affect every page of your site universally. You learned earlier in the pages that you can put in header code for that page. That will append or add to whatever code you have universally for all the pages here. Okay. Then there's script code at the bottom of the page. So again, that's if you have anything, visitor tracking code or chat now code, live servicing code, you can put it down here. Okay. if that's where it's supposed to be. That'll be before the end body tag. Again, each page allows you to put in code that would affect that one page, but this is a universal feature that affects all the pages equally. So if you use both, they double up. You know, if you put this universally and then you had some other code to put on just one page, that's totally fine. They'll add up on, for just that one page. Okay. Now, very often throughout this entire stack, you saw it on the pages and you see it here. You see these WYSIWYG editors, they call them. Always calling them WYSIWYG. For anyone that wonders what that is, it's what you see is what you get. That's all the functions you see or what you get to play with. Okay. So with the WYSIWYG editors, here you go. You can type and so forth. And if you really need to get to the source code to edit something really, you can do it. You can go ahead and switch completely into the source code. Okay. Other than that, you can highlight things and change the colors, right? The background colors, or change the font, change the size. The type of font family, you know, all of these things can be done, right? Whether it's supposed to be a certain kind of a header. Okay, there you go. Now what? Canonical URLs, we talked about it before. Each of your pages is given a canonical URL. Now, do you want all of them to naturally use www dot or not? Okay. Next, can crawler indexes about Google, Bing, Yahoo, and others, are they allowed to see the pages of your website and index them? Well, if you're moving fast and updating your website and it's primarily about you, then say yes. Okay. If, however, you think, okay, I bought this, I got it ready, but I need to update all the content and I don't want Google to see it until I get to it, say no. That way, Google will never show your website until you're ready, and then you flipped it to yes because you updated the pages to your liking. Okay, this again, don't really worry about it because they've been replaced with these two features here, and you can update. Now, the next points I want to make are pretty self-explanatory, but they're also really cool to see. So let's make this clear. I'm going to go ahead and click that to open the logo again. Okay. Now, what do we know? This is the header, okay, or the top bar, it's sometimes called a header. This is the navigation bar or the menu. This is the banner area for the banner. The banner has print and a clickable read more. You can put things in here or not. It's up to you. Usually you would. Okay. You can have your opening paragraphs and so forth and some sort of an opening image. And then this is the actual page itself, right? This is what you saw for the page home. Now, and whether you could flip on the sidebar or not. By that, I meant this. All of the pages just have a few things that mean page. Okay? So either you're flipping on the sidebar with one or more of the items in the sidebar. Whatever you don't select, then the sidebar just rolls up. Okay, so if I only select two of these things, the sidebar will look great anyway. It'll just show two. Maybe the top one and the bottom one, but not the middle one. Bottom one will roll up. The whole sidebar will just come up appropriately. Okay, but that's it. There's a sidebar, and there's the print. Free site inspection down through 24/7 service. Okay, free site inspection down through 24/7 service. So what about the rest of everything? Where is this stuff from? Where is this stuff? Where do I edit these things? How do I choose what I want to show up down here and the rest of this? Okay, there's your back to top. In the back to top, do I have any control over the style? That's what I'm going to show you right now. All of this stuff is lined up. It's everything else. It's your theme stuff. So let's take a look. We're going to go to Global Settings, Theme Settings. Okay, there we go. So that is everything from the top down. Your body layout, do you want it to be a box layout or a fluid layout? Okay, what does that mean? I'm going to update. There's an update button at the top and the bottom of the page, so grab the closest one. Okay, there you go. Fluid layout goes totally across the page now. It's not in a box. Now what? Do I want the sidebar widget on or off? I could say yes or no. Do I want it on the left or the right or even horizontally? I can say on the right. Okay, so these are the kinds of choices you have. So by flipping that, the sidebar shows up on the right instead of the left. Okay. Now you might say, here's the header. Am I going to enable it? Yes. What's it going to use? Company name, address line, call us, phone, or click to text, phone, you know, what SMS phone, whatever you want. And that's for all of these things here. So you get to control the verbiage, okay, and the numbers and the information all you want. Now what? Navigation. Do you want that on or off? Do you want it centered, left or the right? That is for all the verbiage. Do you want this to the left or the right or centered? Or do you even want to get rid of the menu? Some people put a movie in here. You can do that too. It's called a looping video. And they may set the height of the looping video to cover most of the page. And they'll say, turn this part off and turn that part off. I just want my looping video to cover the whole page. And I want this nice stuff to scroll in saying read more or contact us. And that's really all I want. Well, you can do that. You can flip off the header. You can say no. You can flip off the navigation. You can say no. And for the banner slider settings, okay, you can decide to use your background video if you have one, browse and get one, looping video, okay? And you can decide how many seconds it's supposed to play. And by the way, you can use dots. So if your looping video happens to be 5.3 seconds long, you can exactly match it, okay? And you can decide what the heading and the paragraph and the button link should be, okay? And whether there should be more than one slider or not. In other words, you can have a video and then another one down here, or you can have a video play once and then it stops on a nice image that sits still for a long time saying contact us, so that people can say, okay, the movie's over. Now it's suggesting I contact them or read more or whatever, okay? And here's the about section settings. Do you want that about section on? If yes, do you want the text on? Do you want the image on? That was this right here, this section, the about section. Do you want it on or off? Do you want the text and or the image? Okay, so you can decide these things actually. And here's your main heading, first paragraph, second paragraph, and the image. Okay, you can decide service section. Do you want that on or off? And you want them aligned left or center or right? How many boxes per row? Okay, and that's for everything you have here. This with how many per row, whether you want 2 and 2, it'll center them or put them on the left or the right or whatever you want. Okay, and you can decide what this is supposed to say. You can decide all of these things. Okay, and then what are the boxes supposed to be? You can actually make those decisions, and you can even have them linked somewhere. If you really want that to go to one of your pages, if you want this to go to another one, you can have them go to the same pages as your menu pages. Okay, so you can do that. Now what? The featured service section, and where do those links point? That's the next one down. You just keep scrolling down. Featured service, yes or no. There's what it's called, how many images you want per row, okay? And you can just decide how many you're going to have. You can add more. You click that, it adds another one down here. You can just type into it, then add another one. If you don't want more, get rid of them, okay? Logos section, if you're going to have like logos for the memberships you have, the suppliers you use, etc., you might want to flip that on and give them credit and link out to them. That's a good thing also for getting external links to make your site more valuable in Google's eyes. So if you know which memberships you want, etc., you can do that. Okay, and you can decide exactly how many logos you want, more or fewer, whatever you want. It'll just show them on the page. Okay, Google Maps. Are we going to use the Google Maps? Are we going to use the company information? Are we going to use a Google Map image? Okay. And are we going to have the contact form show up? And all these things are here. By the way, if you need something like a Google Map API key and you've never gotten one before, this makes it really, really simple. Get a free one right here. Just click the link and it'll actually open in a new key. And you just click here to get a key. And then just select or create a project. And so what kind are you going to make it? You can just say my project, you know, and hit next, and you can give it a name, Bennett Roofing or whatever. And literally it's just this, 2 or 3 steps and you get your key. And once you have your key, what do you do with it? You just paste it right back into the page. Sorry, you just paste it right here and update it. And that allows your Google Map to interact and be live. Okay, there you go. There's my key. That was all I needed. So I'll just copy it with that guy right there. Okay, and it ends in Y6C, you know, and just paste it. Bam. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to do for the key. And then there's the Google map. It's going to be full address or latitude and longitude, depending on what you want. And then just put in either the full address or latitude and longitude. And again, this is where we like to use global variables for consistency. You can decide whatever you want, all this stuff, okay? Enable social icons, yes or no, and then whether you're going to put them in, what they're going to be. By the way, what's that mean? Social icons, in this case, are right here, okay? And I could add another one. See, I have YouTube, right? Let's take a look at what that would be, because you're thinking, I wonder what the icon name should be. Font Awesome Icons. And let's think, YouTube, this is alphabetical, FA dash whatever it is. Let me go down for like FA dash YouTube and FA dash YouTube square, if I like that one. I might just copy that. Okay, close, so I can just go ahead and put it in there. Boom. And then I'll put in, you know, the link to my channel, right? Whoops, sorry. And that could be, you know, youtube.com, next traffic, something like that, okay? And you could decide all the rest of these things. Box heading, center or left or right, about us, etc., etc. Again, see the extensive use of global variables. It is beautiful to have that, so you only need to change the information in one place and it updates the entire website for you. Then enable the footer menu, yes or no, back to top button, yes or no, and just hit update. Again, you can hit update down here or here. They're the same button, just copied. So whichever one is easier for you to reach after you make a change, then just go hit it. Obviously, I'm not going to hit it because I made a bunch of willy-nilly changes. I'm going to let that go. I'll just leave the page to kill all the changes I made if I don't want to save any of the changes. Okay, this video's been pretty long. Now what I'm going to talk about in the next video is going to be styling. What if you want to change colors and fonts and things like that? What if you don't like this particular type of dark but not black print? Well, I'll show you how you do that in the next video. It's beautiful how much control you have over literally every little piece of that on this entire website, right down to the back to top button. Okay.